Oh, look at that. Oh, man. Oh. All right, we're a happy camper. Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out looking for treasure. Things like agates. So this is the agate that I plucked out and you saw me take that video of. And this is just how it looks when you shine a flashlight through it in the dark. These are some of my favorite treasures. And I have quite a few of these from my childhood. This was plucked out from just in front of Devil's Punchbowl along the Oregon coast. And that's what this video actually will be, is I will be pulling agates out of that area. If you are interested in how to find these agates, I'll try to do my best to explain what's going on as I go through it. Now, I should note that agate hunting videos or rock hounding videos aren't my typical video. If you're new to my channel, I usually focus on things like silver or gold, stuff like that, because it's what's accessible to me. I'm a stay-at-home dad and I can get out to thrift shops and garage sales. I can't necessarily always get out rock hounding, but I love it. So this video is actually going to be this was actually the first film I ever took doing a rock hounding video. So you'll have to pardon any lacks, and if you have any comments or any suggestions for improvement, let me know. There's a lot that I learned on this trip, and editing has taken me quite a while, so I will attempt to make these as good as possible for you. Now, one of the things that's important to understand about this particular part of Oregon is that there are many different stones that you can find, not just agates. And when I went, I had a notion that there were other things because I've been watching Katie Did a Rocks and Theo Kellison, Dan Hurd. These are other great YouTubers if you haven't seen them. And they kind of opened my eyes to a lot of different things. So I picked up quite a few different rocks. This will be a series of videos. I actually had 4 or 5 days of agate hunting, so I have a lot of agates. And as this video progresses, what you will see is I will pull these out on the video, and then I will switch to showing you close-ups of the agates so you can sort of see what's going on with them. Shine the flashlight through them, give you a notion of what that is. But there are also other rocks that I didn't necessarily record, and at the end of the video, I'll show a few of those. However, I had a very unfortunate situation where I accidentally left my entire agate collection there. And the kind folks where I was staying were able to mail them to me, and I'm not sure if I got all of them, honestly. So in a few cases, if you don't see a close-up of the agate, it's because it's sadly lost. Now, there was also, after I got back, a slight mishap with my 4-year-old who found my agates when I wasn't looking and had some fun with them. So while I had originally sorted these out so that they would be day by day, I now have a lot of agates that are in no particular order. So it is also possible that I just couldn't find the right agate. In a couple cases, I think I'm going to show you the close-up of the correct agate, but it might not be. So if it isn't, leave a comment, let me know that, nope, you got the wrong one there, which is entirely possible. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get to the agate hunting? It's also important to note that this is the first day I was out doing it, and I took a bunch of footage of the area also. If you've never been out to Devil's Punchbowl, I highly recommend it. It's just a real treat to get out there at low tide. So there will be a little bit of travel in this video also. I hope you enjoy it. So it occurs to me that how cool this place is should definitely be documented on my camera here. Gonna work our way up around the corner there.
big reason I come this time of year is because the extremely low tides lead all these rocks to getting exposed. And this extremely neat place that you can come down in and visit just becomes cooler and cooler and cooler. We've got our fun little tide pools here. See all the little fish? Not sure if you can. All swimming around in there. I think it's a lot of sculpins. Although, yeah, so there's lots of them. Of course, when you're out here doing any of this, keep in mind this seaweed is extremely slippery. So, this is definitely something that you could get into trouble very quickly if you're not careful about your footing. Got some cool sea caves going on, but again, you want to stay back from these cliffs. But this is a fairly popular little spot. You can see we have a little trail worn here from the people that come and visit. Of course, this time of year, the big reason they're coming to visit is to go into the Devil's Punchbowl over there and to see all of the fabulous wildlife in these tide pools. We came for that reason for my kiddos, but also to see if we couldn't snag some agates. And I think there may be some on the other side of these rocks here. So what we'll do is we will... Should we look up there? No, I think we're just gonna hop over this. Right here. Man, how can you not love that? As a kid, my dad used to take me out fishing. There's some rocks out there, and when the tide gets even lower, you can go out further on them. And that was the spot. Now today, I think what we're going to check out, though, it's a little too dark to go into the Devil's Punchbowl, but I think we're going to check out over here and see if we've got some good gravels for finding agates. Last time we were here a couple of years ago, down in here was great. They were exposed. Aha! See what I'm seeing right down in there? Now it looks like some folks may have already been down here, though. Those rocks on top don't look like they were placed there naturally, but we'll see. Whoa! Let's not slip. Remember what I was talking about with the seaweed being a little slippery? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here is we're going to go down, I'm going to start poking around, and if I find some agates, I'll turn on my camera again, and we will show what we're finding as we're finding it. Alright, so I've poked around. Let's see if we can uncover any agates, shall we? Aha! There's the first agate. Look at that. They are here. Lovely. We'll put you right there. Alright, I think I see one. It's right there, maybe? Yep. That's a little agate. Look at how bright that thing glows. Sometimes things like this look like a little bit of shell, but that, I think, is an agate. And I think maybe there's another one right here. Yep, there we go. They are pretty little things, aren't they?
For this one, I couldn't for the life of me figure out which agate it was. But it's also a good point to note that there's a lot of agates, and a lot of them have this, you can see how they glow there? A lot of them have this skin on them, and they'll still glow in the sun, as you can see. Maybe they'll glow a little too much. This light may be a little bright. I apologize for that. But these agates are just wonderful. Let me show you what we're actually really looking at here in many cases. We're looking at the swirls and the skin that's involved in these. Let's get some more light going on. I really do like to try to make my videos educational, and one of the biggest things when you're out agate hunting is to realize that these white things with the skin are underneath actually agates. Now I find them extremely beautiful as is. See all that banding in there? These often get tumbled. I don't have a tumbler. I might eventually tumble some of these, but if I'm honest, I just love how they, especially with these like thick skins, see where the light doesn't even penetrate that. Sometimes you'll find these with the skins so thick that all they look like is the skin. You can't really see, but the skin itself is nice and swirly.
All right, I think I may have just spotted one. Oh yeah. There we go. Now the light's coming out, we can see these puppies. Look at that. So nice. And I think I spotted a second, maybe a third right over here. Oh yeah, there we go. There's one. So they are out here for sure. Alright, I've been working this a little bit. I think I found another one. Oh yeah, look at that one. Ah, look at the color. Oh my. Okay. So, we're definitely in a few agates here, aren't we? Let's see. Oh, is that? That's a shell. Yeah, more or less that is the technique. I don't think that any of the agate beds right now are really in good shape. When I've been here in the past, I don't know if you see all the sand down in here, a lot of this gets washed out and then it exposes these beds. My understanding is that in the winter, this is a much better place to hunt agates, especially on the main beaches, because the storms come in and strip away all the sand, which then gets redeposited on top of the agate beds. In this case, this is just a spot that, because the tide's so low, the agates or the agate beds are exposed so that we can actually access them. Last year, a lot of these tide pools out here had the sand stripped out of them, so we were able to get into those. And I don't think anyone had really hunted those in ages. So we were doing beautifully on agates. This particular spot that I'm in, I think, is fairly well known for agates. This is pretty picked over, I think. I think we're really just getting the locals' leavings for agates. But you know what? We'll poke around a little more. We'll see if there's something else here. And of course, maybe it isn't about the size or number so much as it is about just having fun doing it. And I am very much enjoying myself this morning. So we will go ahead and keep working this little agate bed here. Well, alright, why don't we go ahead and go into the punch bowl. Just gotta be careful here. Slippery rocks. See if I can't make sure my camera's attached to my head, so I thought, well, what am I seeing? So if you see that rail up there, that's where you can usually look down. And at high tide, this whole thing is just a boiling cauldron. It's not exactly the safest thing on the planet. Now, right now, you can see over there, the tide is coming in. So, when it gets lower, you can actually walk out there also. See how smooth this is all worn. Now what I don't know is if I should pop around in here for a second. Just show you guys how this place looks. Being as safe as I possibly can. Oh yeah. It's a pretty stable sea cave, for sure. As far as sea caves of its type go. But with cliffs like these, things are never truly safe. I'm not seeing any really good gravel beds down in there. So I think we will call it good. Yeah. See where all the water comes in. Swirls around, also goes out, comes in, just creates this big roiling mess. I will have to see if I can't come back and take a picture of it at high tide from the top so you can see sort of what this looks like. But I'm not seeing any good gravels, definitely some bigger rocks, but nothing I want to scramble down to try to get at. So that is the inside of the Devil's Punch Bowl. There's a gull. I had to turn my camera back on. We've had a little spy here watching us this entire time. Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. Sometimes down over there, there's a little sand you can see there. That will also be gravels. And then you can get agates directly out of the punch bowl. But that is where we're going right now. Alright, we have here a fairly undisturbed gravel bed. Now, there's a lot of people that come out this way, so I don't know if these have already been searched, but we can have a look. Oh, there's one. Let me take this camera off my head and we'll zoom in on it. Let's see here. There she is, right there. They are pretty little things. And we'll get close-ups of these. Oh, okay. Now I'm happy with my day. Now I'm a happy camper. Just been finding little kind of not the ones that are the ones that get you excited, but here we're seeing one. Can you see it? Oh yeah. That's why I'm out here. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, baby. And we'll get close-ups of this with the camera later. Wow. Alright, so let's see if we can't find any more down in here, shall we? Might have to move some overburden. I'm going to turn this off and we'll get to poking. And as soon as I turn my camera off, I spot one right there. Oh, and another one. Look at that. I don't think anyone's been back here. We'll see if we can't work this spot a little bit. Alright. So, I think that I got my camera set. See what I'm after. Oh, look at that. Oh man. Oh. All right, we're a happy camper. I didn't feel very good about my agate hunting earlier, but today finding this spot now. Oh, here's another one. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that I'm underneath this rock here. Alright, let's get these secured in my pocket. Poke around a little more here, huh? I think I'm going to turn off my camera for a second here. See if I say that, do I find one? I do. Look at that. So, these agates aren't usually super huge, but they're just so dang cool. Alright, now let me... There's one. Teeny tiny little guy. Okay.
So I think that agate was one of these two, but I'm not certain. This particular one, though, is very cool because you can see where it came out of the host rock. See how these just catch the light? So when you get a nice bright sunny day, they just glow.
Okay. Oh, there's one. When I said teeny tiny little guy before, I was lying. That one's teeny tiny.
I gotta be honest, I don't know which one of these, if any, those tiny little agates were. There are a lot of tiny little agates, and they are quite, as you can see, quite beautiful. They're just the prettiest little things. You know, a lot of people are just finding these because they'll find these things all over the place, and they like this one. I mean, look how much that thing glows. So when you're walking down the beach, you'll spot these little things in pretty much all of the gravels in that general area, and they're quite fun, even though they're a little itty bitty. Obviously, we like the bigger ones. But you can see I picked these up, and I picked up quite a few of these for a reason. Let's get them wet.
Okay, let's see if there's any just kind of hanging out over here. So we clearly got, see it? Wow! Look at that. Look at that. Would you even need to tumble that? I think that's already been tumbled. Oh, man. Yep, this is agate hunting now. Now, are these big agates like you find in the Yellowstone River? I don't think so. Is this a hoot? Yes. Yes, it is.
These are my favorite. I just can't get enough of this particular variety. The sad thing is, however, if you tumble this, you'll lose all of this. That's just on the surface. So if you find these, keep in mind that if you tumble them, you're not going to get to keep that. Personally, I don't think this particular type, when you have such a beautiful pattern on the surface, should be tumbled. I believe there is a method, which I have not personally tried yet, of coating them in mineral oil and then baking them slightly. If you know this particular method, please Leave a comment about it. Theo Killison mentioned it to me. He told me the process, but I haven't really had a chance to do it yet. So that's why I'm still wetting these. He said the end result is that they will look like they're always wet. Now this one, I can't get enough of these.
Alright, so I've been poking around in the tide pools here. And I'm hoping that tomorrow the tide's low enough that we can just get in here. You can see my rubber boots are no good, but right here, there's an agate. So there's definitely agates down in here, but I don't really want to bug. See all these sea anemones in here, and there's little crabs. I'm not into bothering those guys. I'd rather not disturb any of the wildlife. This is its home. So we'll see if this is uncovered tomorrow. Maybe we'll pop down in here and see if we can find any more little agates. I think for right now, you can see right here, we got a little, there he is. Hermit crab, you need a bigger shell, bud. Alright. Yeah, I think the top of this has been pretty well picked. Sure looks like it to me. Unless, is that one? Oh, look at that. Alright, they are definitely here.
I believe this is the agate you just saw. I don't have any others that look quite like this. So if this isn't the agate you just saw, then it's the closest one I have. The other one is lost forever, as my children would say. And this one definitely has a bit of a different color to it. It's a little more greenish. I can't tell if that was the camera or what. So this may be a different agate that you're looking at. But sometimes they do come around like this. Although I found very few that are actually in this shape. A lot more of them are flat ovals. This is a real good example of the skin on the outside that you want to look for. Although this one too, it's like, see, if it's not sunny, this is going to look just kind of like any other little gray rock. If it's sunny though, it's going to glow like nobody's business. Especially if the light hits it right. So these are particularly fun to find. And the one that you just saw is very much like this one. If it isn't this exact one, I think it's this one. You can be the judge. Let me know in the comments what you think. Did I find the right one, or did my 4-year-old run off with with the correct one?
Remember what I was saying about this being picked over? I'm not sure. Look at that. There we go. Not sure what even stuck to that. But, alright, we're on the agates. I will, oh, but you see, look what just happened to me. Everything had just peeled back. Look at that tide coming in. Alright, we'll see how fast we can get this done. Looks like our tide waits for no man.
Oh, I might have to zoom out a little bit. So that is definitely the biggest agate of the trip. You'd be forgiven if you thought that came out of the Yellowstone or something. Looks like it's, I don't know if this is host rock or something that got stuck to it. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. Big agates aren't something you should expect out there. They are not super common. I have some agates that are actually a little smaller than this. Well, maybe a little thicker, but they're a little smaller than this, that I found during a summer storm one time when I was a kid there. But that was crazy. We came home with like a bucket of agates each because of that storm uncovering an agate bed. But you can get some good sized ones. If you want good size like this one though, you probably want to head out to the Yellowstone River. And I believe this is the last of the close-ups for this video.
Alright. So I exposed all this and then the tide came in. But it's okay. Got a pretty little agate. Let's just have us a look. See if there's anything else here. Bucket would definitely help. I think that's what I'm going to title day one's video. Never forget your bucket. Oh yeah. We don't have much time here at all, do we? I'm not spotting any. So, turn off the camera now. Oh wait, no, wait, yes, no, yes. Agate. There we go. Oh, yeah. Look at that puppy. And here comes our tide. Alright, tide's coming in. My family's probably waking up. See one little agate here. There you go. Alright. Anyone like mussels? Oh, and there comes the sun. Oyster catcher over there. I'm not sure if it's showing up on the camera here. It's on top of the rock there. So much wildlife, so much beauty. So many fish too if you get fishing out in here. Cabezon and lingcod, kelp greenling. Oh man. Alright, well, tide does not want me to stand here. So off I go. And I think that'll be it. I got a great blue heron out there. We will call it a day and we'll climb back up. But I wanted to mention, you see all of this erosion? There are fossils in all of this stuff, but honestly, the sign says stay away from the cliff for a reason. This stuff is falling all the time and it is not exactly safe. I'm not entirely certain what kind of fossils other than clams you'll find in this stuff, but they are in there. And with that, I'll do my little climb back up and get out of here.